So I've been thinking a lot about the Bleach manga and anime recently, and while I'm not one of those people who is going to sit here and tell you that the Bleach anime is definitely coming back, because I'm not really sure, but I definitely do have an idea of if and when it comes back, what they should do, and how I feel like they can reintroduce Bleach to a new generation while also giving the fans of the series for a very long time the nostalgic boost that they definitely need and deserve. Let's jump right into it. So with 2020 quickly approaching and the vast majority of Bleach anime fans drawing a line in the sand and declaring that 2019 and 2020 are the last hurrahs for an anime revival sometime down the line, I'm wondering if this does happen. And like I said, I'm not talking about whether or not this is going to happen sometime in the future. Technically, I don't know if that's going to be the case. All I can really tell you is I do enjoy the manga. I think the 1,000-Year Blood War arc is going to be interesting if it's ever adapted into an anime arc. And I do genuinely believe that even though there's a lot of material there left for the anime to still adapt, after the manga ended, there's still even more material just in case the Bleach revival is a gigantic hit and they want to do more than just that one particular arc. I also believe that bringing it back would allow Kubo and everybody else who has been involved with this series from the very beginning, or even newcomers, to take the mistakes of the anime and flesh out the things that Kubo was never able to get to because of the abrupt cancellation. But my whole pitch and kind of question in this video to everyone listening, please go down to the comment section below and tell me your thoughts and opinions on this. But whether or not it comes back, should they do a time skip? Should they make Ichigo in his mid to late 20s at the time that we're reintroduced to him after the end of the original anime? This is something that's always kind of boggled my mind when it came to Bleach. Looking back at some of the more popular mangas and animes over the last couple decades and various protagonists having major time skips or growing up to a substantial degree across the entire series, and that's not unlike what we saw with Bleach. Over the course of the entire series, we did get to see Ichigo and all of his friends continue to age, but there was never a substantial time skip. There was never a way to make these characters into adult figures. And I think after the end of the anime and going into the last arc of the manga, it might make a little bit more sense, especially if they're trying to play the nostalgia card, to adapt the manga storyline as if the characters had aged when it was canceled. Obviously, the way the anime ended, it kind of left the idea open that Ichigo now has his powers again, and he's probably going to continue doing what he's doing, so there has been this time of peace or whatever happened during that storyline, but they're going to bring it back in a major way, then aging Ichigo up to the approximate age or somewhere close to the approximate age of the people who originally found the manga, but still making it new, original, and exciting for fans who might not have known about Bleach or haven't discovered it yet, would be the best outcome. It worked for Naruto, it worked for Dragon Ball, and I feel like it would work a lot for this particular series. You have Ichigo a little bit older than he was in the manga, going through all the motions and telling the story that they have to tell for the 1,000-Year Blood War arc. And then if it's a hit, you go into some of the other stories, maybe one-offs or whatever they want to do in order to tell those extended stories and the light novels that have been coming out over the last couple of years. And even still, because you have Ichigo grown up at this point, you can easily take that into a new series, sequel series with younger kids, just to get more people involved and really play off that nostalgic factor and bring in some of those more younger audiences who might have been watching or were at least genuinely curious about what Bleach is all about. My whole point here is that Bleach, even though it is still massively popular today, especially probably not so much in Japan, but especially around the world, you want to appease the people who are going to buy the content. And who else is going to buy the content besides people who are essentially my age or a little bit older, people in their mid to late 20s or early 30s who grew up with this series and want to see it continue with a protagonist that's essentially their same age, and something that, at least as far as I can remember, wouldn't hinder the story or wouldn't primarily change the story in any real big way if they were to retcon that one specific aspect and make Ichigo just a little bit older. Guys, what are your thoughts on this? I personally really like this idea, just considering the fact that you can do the entire Thousand Year Blood War arc, which is going to end up being like a 40 or 50 episode anime, whether it's weekly or seasonal, and then you can do the light novel content to get another couple episodes out of that and tell the story. And then if it's still continuously popular, the manga ended in such a way that we can easily do the next generation thing in the same way they did Boruto with the whole Naruto series. So that's really exciting to me. I'm not saying it's going to come back. I'm not saying this is how they're going to do it. I just really haven't seen anyone talk about this, and I think Ichigo is an interesting character and someone who could use a little bit of growing up between one series and the next if it's going to get a revival. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell over by the subscriber button to notify you every single time I upload. It's been real.